Hello, everyone. I'm really excited to be here today. I am dialing in from San Francisco, and I'm really excited to talk to you today about bringing Gen AI securely to the enterprise. My name is Tamar Yoshua. I'm the president of product and technology at Glean, and we are based here in the Bay Area. So, you've all been hearing about Gen AI, and this really is the next wave of technological change. We had the internet that came in, and mobile and cloud SaaS, which were all really big shifts in technology and how people approach technology. And I firmly believe that Gen AI is as big or bigger than many of these previous shifts. The first wave of Gen AI 1.0 is all about finding knowledge, about finding information and automating some rote tasks. We've all been using ChatGPT since it came out. I know I have many times a day. And we're starting to see now the Gen AI 2.0, which is going to be even more complex work. People are talking about agentic workflows, and we're going to go into that in a little bit of detail. So I think we're just on the cusp of Gen AI 1.0 and seeing it realize, and soon we're going to be seeing even more. And our vision at Glean is that everyone will have an expert assistant at work. Uh, we all would love an assistant. Not everyone has an assistant. But what do I mean by an assistant? Somebody who can take care of things that are repetitive in nature, that don't leverage the deep skills that you have in your trade, that make you more productive in everything that you do. So I think the day will come where people will be even more productive. And it doesn't mean that we will need fewer people. It will mean that the work that you do is higher leveraged. So these AI agents will be redefining productivity at work. So the first wave is that AI gets you information. It can find documents, it can find data, it can find people, it can tell you who the experts are in your organization. And then the next phase is that AI will work with you. So let's say you found an answer and you want to refine it, or you found a doc and you want to summarize it, or there's data that needs to be analyzed. That's where we are now with the chatbots and starting to get more assistance. And now we're seeing the beginning of agents that do work for you, that will automate repetitive tasks, that won't just do one task, but will do multiple tasks. We'll be able to do one thing, take the output from that, input it into another task. So we'll call those multi-step processes or agentic loops. So that's what we're starting to see, all of these AI applications. You've seen people tweet about the ability to write code that is multi-step, to do customer supports, being able to deflect multi-step questions from users. These possibilities are really endless in all of these categories and in all these different verticals. So first we're going to see people using them just for personal, like a personal agent. Like I want a daily brief of everything that I'm going to need to happen, or I'm going to meet a customer and I want to have a summary of that customer and what I should be talking to them about. And then you're going to see department use cases. A product manager in my org wrote an agent to be able to summarize calls with customers, pull out the important information, and then see what the trends are across customers and what they're saying. Super cool. So one product manager will write that and then be able to share it with all the product managers. Engineers really don't like writing their snippets for the week. So you might see an engineer build an agent to automate writing of snippets of what they did for the week and then shares it across a department. And then you see company level, like a agent that will help you answer HR questions. We're seeing a lot of our customers do this, consolidate all the information about HR that might be in your workplace and be able to have people come and ask questions about it. So you want to know your benefits, you can utilize fewer HR people to answer all the rote questions and get into the more important things of helping the company. And in addition, onboarding is another use case that we see company wide. How do you help people find the information they need when they're new, find the experts they need to talk with? So there's so many different possibilities for all stages of agents. So what are the ingredients of using AI in the enterprise? Well, it all is about data. So at the foundation, you have all of your data that you're using for the enterprise. And you need to make sure you get those permissions right. You need to know who has access to what data. And then you combine it with AI. You combine it with LLMs to do the reasoning. And RAG is the retrieval. RAG is about finding the right information to feed to the LLM. So these are the basic ingredients that you need for any enterprise agent. So the key for using AI in an enterprise is unlocking your data. It really is about unlocking the right level of enterprise data. So if you take a look back in the last decade, we've seen a lot of work on structured data and unlocking that for the enterprise, not directly related to AI at the time, but you had data that was locked in CRMs and ERP systems that people didn't have access to. It's really hard to understand what your revenue trends were or product usage. So then you saw these cloud data warehouses come, like Databricks and Snowflake, to make access to that easier. And then on top of that, BI tools that made it even easier. So somebody could refer to could easily build a dashboard in Tableau or in Looker that's going to access their data from the data warehouse on top of their CRM. But this is only about 10% of enterprise data is structured. What is the other 90%? The other 90% is your unstructured data. So most of the data in the enterprise comes from ticketing systems, collaboration systems like Slack or Teams, from documents like Google Docs or Microsoft Office 365, or from Salesforce or from Zendesk. You have so much unstructured data that your enterprise relies on. So what you need is both the unstructured and the structured data. So your enterprise AI data stack will take that data, make sure that it understands the permissions and the security of it, then build on top of it, build a RAG engine, a search index, probably uses a vector database, uses LLMs, and then build copilots, chatbots, assistants on top of that data. But it's really hard. So doing this well is really hard. Many of you have probably tried or are trying and see why it's hard. Consumer AI, we're hearing all about it, super exciting, from robots to pins to sunglasses to ChatGPT to new like Midjourney's image creation, video creation, super exciting. And enterprise AI is also exciting. But getting that data is hard. In the consumer world, all the data on the internet is accessible to everyone. You don't have to worry about permissions. In the enterprise, that's not the case. You have to worry about permissions and data governance and privacy. It's expensive. It's your proprietary data. You need to make sure that it's secure. So this all makes it hard. So we kind of see two worlds today. We've got the world of consumer AI, and then the world of people starting to get disillusioned with enterprise AI. But we're just starting to come out of that trough. And we're starting to see real use cases in enterprises, which is super exciting. And I think it's just starting. We're going to see so much more. A lot of what we're seeing is verticalized enterprise AI applications. So there's kind of two worlds of that. There's the clouds that are, if you're building on top of Azure, AWS, GCP, you have a platform. They're giving tools to access your data. They allow access to a search index, maybe a RAG. You can use your LLM on top of like Azure, or you can use OpenAI, and then they give you frameworks. But it really takes a developer. So a developer to develop on top of all of these cloud tools that are given. And then you see applications. Almost every SaaS app today has an AI offering. So you'll got a CRM, which will have their AI offering, or a recruiting tool, which will have the AI offering. And so you're seeing AI built on top of a specific vertical, but you only have access to the data in that system. So you're doing AI on top of your CRM to ask questions about the data in your CRM. And so you've got either the data that's locked into your vertical, or you have this like DIY that you're building it yourself on, usually on top of some verticalized data store. But most enterprise questions are horizontal. Let's say you want to find out what the latest status is on a project. You're new to that project. You're going to look at the wiki and maybe Confluent. You're going to look at the code repository. You're going to look in Slack. You're going to look at the ticketing system. You're going to see what emails there are. All of this, you're going to be searching all of these different repositories of data. And maybe you're having coffee with people to find out information as well. But hours later, you might get the data that you need. Well, Glean is taking an open horizontal platform approach. So you can pick your own cloud, whether it's GCP or AWS. You can connect all of your data sources, whatever data sources you need. And then Glean builds the RAG search index and then integrates that with an LLM. Again, LLM of your choice if you want to use Gemini, OpenAI, or Anthropic, and then builds tools on top of that. So you can search the data like a Google search, or you can use a chat interface like ChatGPT. And you also can build your own apps on top of Glean and your data repository. So, what is Glean today? Glean is your enterprise AI. So you can ask any question, you can get an answer from the assistant, and you can get your search results. So any information that you're looking at that you want an answer to, you can find through Glean. So Glean is your trusted AI platform. It reads all your data on top of your cloud. One of the big differentiators is the security and governance. Let's say that somebody sent you a document and it said only people with access to this link can see it. Well, Glean knows that the document was sent to you and you have access, and that somebody else in the company it wasn't sent to them, so they don't have access. How? Because Glean reads in all of your data. It sees your messaging apps, your email, and it sees the documents. And it has AI powered search that's a combination of a hybrid search of keyword search and semantic search, and builds a knowledge graph of your organization. And that is the retrieval part of RAG that then adds the reasoning part of an LLM to build the search and chat on top of it. So users love Glean, and this is one of the best parts about Glean is that we get people coming back doing upwards of 14 queries a day. We get unsolicited love from people of how much time it saved them. We see a savings of sometimes 2 to 3 hours a week and capturing significant ROI. So this is one of the big advantages of Glean. So with that, thank you so much for listening. And I hope you have a great rest of the summit.